All right, welcome everybody. Mr. Mitchell here.
And Mrs. Stewart.
We're going to show you how to use Google Slides to collaborate and share your work with your classmates and with us. So you're going to go and find the appropriate link on Schoology. All right, you can see us there. In this case, for what we're using, this is the link right here. You're going to click it. All right, you're going to make a copy. You're going to let your internet load. Okay, and then Ms. Stewart, you want to tell them how to retitle it so that we know who to grade?
Yeah, so this is just a copy of it. And the example here is for our Algebra 2 class. You're going to click up here where the title is. And instead of saying copy of, you're going to put the last names of all the students that are going to be in your collaborative group, starting with the one person who's going to be the lead. So in this case, August is the lead, so August's name goes first.
Okay.
Now, since Mr. Mitchell and I are working together, you are actually allowed to work with any students that are in Honors Algebra 2 in my class or his class. So you need to share this document with whichever teacher is also going to be grading it. So you click the share button in the upper right-hand corner. You type in my email address if any of those people are in my class. So janelle.stewart@lausd.
Oh my gosh. And make sure you double check to spell everything correctly.
And then Mr. Mitchell, if he has anybody that's enrolled in his class that's working on this also.
And I'm AXM4753@LUSD.net. You also need to make sure if August is in charge of the document, she's going to need to share it with all of her group members. So whatever Apache's email address is, whatever Mickey's email address is, that way you're all collaborating on the same document. You'll see all my old students.
So we do want to point out one thing, that you need to have only one copy of this. So in your collaborative group, you have to assign whoever is going to take the lead. So in this case, August is taking the lead. So August is the one who's going to be downloading the copy, renaming it, and sharing it with all the other members, like Mr. Mitchell said, as well as any of the teachers that are going to be grading it.
Cool. All right, and then over here, you're going to write in the group members' names just as a final check. Does Mickey have an E in it or not?
Yes.
Just making sure because I gave him an E up there. So we have up to 4 group members for the exploration, and then we can go to the next slide. Now this slide is just for you to practice, and since there's going to be maybe 4 people working at the same time, then one person can be on this slide on their computer while somebody is on the upcoming slides, which you'll see. But here's the direction. So for this one, what's your sign? Use the digits 1 through 9 at most 1 time each, so you can't use them more than once, to fill in the boxes and make 3 true number sentences. So that means that we are going to have to fill in numbers up here. You're going to just drag them into those boxes, and maybe the sign of 1/2 pi is equal to 0. And we're going to drag numbers over here, and you're just going to play around, drag and drop, see if you like it. And you can
as a group, you're going to decide if the answer is correct and not correct. And as you move on to the next slide, here's where you're going to write down where all your different attempts are. So it's just a mini version of what you just worked on together as a group. I'm just going to click and drag them. And it's the super important part of this one is going to be the explanation that's here in this purple box. So all you need to do is click on the purple box, you'll see the cursor, and you can go ahead and type in your response.
So in the first attempt, I was just dragging numbers, right? So I can just type in that oh my God, I'm really bad at typing. Oh well.
Yeah, and so then you just put your explanations on there, and you're going to do that for slides 4 and 5.
Right. And so
just explain what your different attempts were.
So for your second attempt, right? So you do a first attempt, and maybe you guys collaborate with each other, and you drag it in there, and you summarize it, and you realize that you're not right. So you can go on to your second attempt and you're going to change the numbers around, describe what you did, and then your third and hopefully final attempt to try to get a right answer using the numbers 1 through 9 only once, or sorry, no more than once, to make these all true sentences. And type in your strategy. You might be right, you might be wrong on your third attempt. Okay, and then finally, down here, this is the rubric for what Ms. Stewart and I are going to be looking for. So you could see that every slide for your first attempt, you can get up to 2 points for just making an attempt. So we want to see that here. And 2 points for an explanation, which we want to see here. You'll see that on your first attempt, your second attempt, and your third attempt. So it's a total of 4 points a slide, 3 slides, it's 12 points total. So for each attempt, you're going to get a 0, 1, or a 2. You're going to show absolutely no evidence of you doing anything and earn a 0. Or maybe you're going to fill in some of the boxes so you can earn a 1. Or will you fill in all the boxes? And keep in mind, it doesn't mean that the math is right. What was my first attempt? It was just dragging as many numbers as I could to see what happened and see if I liked it. All right.
So for the explanation, if there's no explanation at all, you're going to get a 0 on that. If you have some explanation of how you got your answer in like 1 or 2 sentences, you'll get a 1. And ideally, what we would like is to have everyone contribute, all the members of your group, and with a clear explanation of how you arrived at your answer in 3 to 5 complete sentences, and that would get a 2.
So Ms. Stewart, would my explanation for my first attempt give me 2 out of 2?
Let me look at that. The answer is going to be no.
Because I only have 1 to 2 sentences.
Correct.
All righty. So you're going to summarize, make sure you get the link from Schoology, make a copy, go up here, make sure the last names of every group member, starting with the person who is the editor, are in the
lead
box. You're going to make sure that you share it with the teachers that are grading it. So if you're working with someone from my class and you're in Ms. Stewart's class, you need to make sure that Ms. Stewart's email address and my email address are in the share box, as well as the email address of every person in your group so you can work on it together. The second page is just a giant version of what you're going to be doing and a page for you to make some mistakes and all that, but don't forget to document your attempts and your mistakes with a little explanation about what you learned and how you're going to change your strategy to go on to the second attempt. And there is a brief overview on how to use Google Docs. All right. So we will talk to you later.